Biden heading for rocks. UK smashed president to dust as US to hatch up plot undermine Brexit. Joe Biden's administration has been accused of showing animosity towards Brexit and blasted for its reluctance to accelerate a post-Brexit trade deal with the UK. Former US President Donald Trump had been a big fan of Brexit and regularly talked up the imminent prospect of a lucrative trade agreement between the US and UK. But his defeat in the US presidential election a year ago has seen talks between the two sides seemingly hit a wall, with Mr. Biden frequently voicing his frustration at the UK's implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol. During his presidential campaign, Mr. Biden, who is of Irish heritage, warned he would ensure there was no US-UK trade deal if the implementation of Brexit imperils the Good Friday Agreement. He has also repeatedly warned the UK to not make the Good Friday Agreement a casualty of Brexit. Niall Gardner, a foreign policy analyst and former aide to Margaret Thatcher, has launched a stinging attack against the Biden administration, warning there is now a lot of tension in the UK-US relationship. He believes that is a result of perceived animosity towards Brexit and an unwillingness to press ahead with the free trade deal with Brexit Britain. Mr. Gardner also claimed Mr. Biden's presidency has been hugely unhelpful in regards to relations between the two sides, branding his foreign policy a complete disaster following the chaotic withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan earlier this year. The foreign policy analyst said, "There is a lot of tension in the UK-US special relationship. That is the result of the Biden administration's animosity towards Brexit and the unwillingness from that administration to move forward with the US-UK free trade deal. The Biden presidency has been hugely unhelpful in regards to UK-US relations, and Biden's foreign policy has been a complete disaster, as we saw with the Afghanistan withdrawal, damaging the US standing in the world. There isn't any momentum from the administration to move forward with a trade deal. That is a huge mistake because a trade deal between the world's largest and fifth largest economies will create several new jobs for Americans and is good for the U.S. economy." Mr. Gardner also attacked the Biden administration for parroting the propaganda of the EU. He added, "The Biden administration is obsessed with the knee protocol issue and is recycling the talking points given to them by the EU. They are parroting the propaganda of Brussels." In 2019, then-President Mr. Trump hammered the EU with tariffs of 25% on steel products and 10% on aluminium, when the UK was still a member of the bloc. The US has since scrapped tariffs on EU steel but has failed to do the same for the UK. The absence of a coherent post-Brexit economic strategy seems to have been one of the reasons for the resignation of Lord Frost as Brexit negotiator. Another undeclared reason was that he could see the hopelessness of trying to unpick the Northern Ireland Protocol that he and Boris Johnson had negotiated, creating a regulatory border between Britain and Northern Ireland, an issue that has destabilized the delicate balance of political forces in the north. Continued confrontation with the EU will lead to further poisoning of relations with Europe. In turn, progress on the numerous outstanding post-Brexit technical issues, financial services regulation being key, will become more difficult still to attain. An effective trade war would inflict great damage on economies already weakened by COVID, and as the smaller player, the UK would be the big loser. UK obduracy also infuriates the Biden administration, and weakens the special relationship with the US. The inevitable alternative is to capitulate on the big regulatory questions, and to accept the inevitable drift towards a de facto reunification of Ireland. Lord Frost didn't want to stay around for the surrender. Instead, that dubious honor has fallen to the Foreign Secretary, Liz Truss. It is just possible that she may be able to turn a political disaster into an opportunity. Wider political and security cooperation with Europe has largely vanished, having been excluded from the TCA last year. A bit of seasonal goodwill, and a willingness to engage positively, would go a long way to thawing relations with Europe. It is more than possible that Boris Johnson may be ready to go along with doing so, reinventing himself yet again, this time as a statesman, in the closing period of his premiership. As a statesman,